Title Title 11 Enhanced Defense Against Weapons of Mass Destruction. Section 1101 National Biosurveillance Integration Center. A. In General Title 3 of Homeland Security Act of 2002, 6 United States Code of Tennessee sequences amended by adding at the end of the following Section 316 National Biosurveillance Integration Center. A. Establishment. The Secretary shall establish and operate and maintain National Biosurveillance Integration Center, referred to as Section NBIC, which shall be headed by the Director of Officer and under the Official Officer of the Director of Departments of that is extensive existence as the date of the enactment of the section. B. The primary mission. The primary mission of the NBIC, the National Biosurveillance Integration, is the one, enhance the capability of federal government. A. Rapidly identify characteristics, localized track and biological event and national concern and integration analysis to adding data relating to the human health, animal, plant, food, and environmental monitoring system, both national and international. And B. Disseminating alerts and other information to members of agency coordination, whether impossible with coordination and where they are possible through members, agencies, state, local, tribal governments, and appropriates to enhance the ability to such agencies to respond biological event to the national concerns or oversee development operations of the National Biosurveillance Integration System. Requirements of the NBIC shall detect early as possible biological event of national concern to present the risk of the United States infrastructure key assess of the United States, including one consolidated all the relevant surveillance systems maintenance by the member agencies to detect biological events of national concern across the human and animal planet species. 2. Seeking private sources of surveillance, both foreign and domestic, which sources enhance coverage of critical surveillance gaps using information technology systems that use available statistical analytical totals, identify characteristic biological events, national concerns in the close real time is practicable. And 4. To provide infrastructure such as integration information technology systems by support personnel from the members of agencies sufficient and expertise of the enable analysis interpretation of the data. Working with members of agencies to create information technology systems with the minimum amount of patient's data necessary consideration, patient confidentiality, privacy issues at all stages, development, appraisals, and the privacy officers of such efforts. And 6. The alert of members agencies in coordination with and whether they were possibly through member agencies, public health agencies, state, local, tribal governments regarding any incident developing biological event of a national concern. Responsibility for Director of Officers of the NBIC is in general, the Director Officer of the NBIC is ongoing basis of monitoring and availability appropriate surveillance system of the NBIC as those systems will be enhanced to be biological situation awareness of overall performance that NBIC to ongoing basis review and seeking to improve the statistical and other analytical methods of by the NBIC receive consideration relevant homeland security information and appropriate. D. Provide technical assistance appropriate to the federal, regional, state, local, tribal governments, entities, private sector entities contribute to the relevant appropriation. NBIC assessment directing officer of the NBIC shall ongoing evaluate the evaluate available data for the evidence of biological event of national concern of integrated homeland security information with the NBIC data to provide overall situation awareness to determine with biological event of national concern has occurred information sharing. 3. 3A in general, the directing officer of the NBIC shall establish method of real-time communication with national operational centers to invent of the biological event of national concern to detect the Secretary dissemination and results of NBIC relating to the biological national concern about the federal response entities in coordination with the relevant member agencies, regional, state, local, and tribal governments response entities in a timely manner. 3. The providable and report of the NBIC assessment of the members of the agencies in coordination with the relevant member agencies affected for the regional, state, local, tribal governments, any private sector entities considers appropriate and enhance the missions such members of the governments, entities, abilities, national to respond to biological events to national concern, share their NBIC incident and situation awareness, other relevant, consistent information sharing, environmental established, and one in Section 1016 Information Reform Terrorism Prevention Act 2004, or 6 United States Code 485, any policies, guidelines, procedures, instructions, and other standards, guidelines, and other sections can be consultant direction other than the NBIC shall implementation activities described in subparagraph A, consistent with the policies, guidelines, and procedures, instructions established under Section 116 of the Intelligence Reform or Terrorism Act of 2004, or 6 United States Code 485, consulting with the Director of National Intelligence, Under Secretary of Intelligence Analysis, and other agencies of the federal government as appropriate. Responsibilities of the NBIC member agencies in general. Each member agency shall use its efforts to integrate biosurveillance information into the NBIC with the goal of promotion, information sharing with the federal, state, local, and tribal governments to detect the biological events of national concern, be them, and provide timely information to assess the NBIC maintaining biological situation awareness to accurate detection of responsible personnel, and enable NBIC to receive use of biosurveillance information. Member agency to carry out the requirements under subsection C to connect with the biosurveillance data system of the member agency's NBIC system on mutually agreed protocol consistent with subsection CAE, the participate information strategy policy for the information of the NBIC, information sharing for the provided personnel of the NBIC, inter-agency personnel agreement, consideration, qualification, personnel necessary to provide human, animal, environmental data analysis, introduction of the support of the NBIC, continuing responsibility of the surveillance intelligence system of the department of the agency, applicability. F, the administration of authorities hiring experts, directing officers of the NBIC shall hire individuals with necessary expertise to develop, show, and operate NBICs, and the details of the personnel should, upon the request of directing officers of the NBIC of the head of the federal department of the agency, may detail reimbursement any of the personnel department agency of the department to assist the NBIC in carrying out in the Section 1. Establishment. G, the NBIC interagency working group. The director of the office of the NBIC shall 1. Establish interagency working ability to facilitate interagency cooperation, to advise the director of the officer of the NBIC recommendation to enhance the biological capability department, invite members of the agency to serve working group. D, H, the responsible opportunities agencies, the authority director and officers of the NBIC under this section shall know affected the authority responsibility to any other department agency of the federal government within the rest of the biosurveillance under the program administrates the department agency. I, authorization appropriation. There are authorized to appropriate each sum necessary to carry out the section. J, definitions in the section. The term biological agent and toxin have the means of being given these terms in 178 in the Title 18 United States Code. In term of biological national concern means an act of terrorism involving biological agent or toxin, a natural common occurring outbreak in the infectious disease that may result in national epidemic. The term Homeland Security information has the meaning of the term 892. The term member agency of the federal department agency, the discretion head of the department agency, and turn memorandum under the regarding participants of the NBIC. The privacy officer appointed as under Section 222, the clerical amendment, the table of contents, Section 1B, the Homeland Security Act of 2002, the United States Code 101, as amended, inserting it after the item relating to Section 315 of the following, Section 316, National Biosurveillance Interagency Center. The 6 United States Code 195B, note, deadline, the implementation of the National Biosurveillance Integration Center under Section 316 of the Homeland Security added by subsection A shall be fully operational not later than September 30th, 2008. The report not later than 180 days after the date of enactment of the Secretary of Homeland Security shall commit to the Homeland Security Government Affairs of Senate and comment in the Homeland Security of the House of Representatives an interim report of the status operations of National Biosurveillance Integration that addresses the effort of the Center to integrate the surveillance of the efforts of the federal, state, local, tribal governments within the National Biosurveillance Integration Center is operational. The Secretary shall submit the committees as a final report of the status of such operations. 112, Section 1102, biosurveillance and refers to the computer Comptroller General of the United States shall submit to the Congress a report describing the federal, state, local, and tribal government biosurveillance efforts of the day as of the date of such a report. Describe duplication of the effort of the federal, state, local, and tribal governments levels to create biosurveillance systems. Provide recommendations to Comptroller regarding A, integration biosurveillance systems. B, the effective biosurveillance resources. C, and effective expertise federal, state, local, and tribal government. Section 1103, interagency coordination enhances the defense against nuclear, biological, or nuclear radiological weapons of mass destruction. A, in General Homeland Security Act of 2002, United States Code 101, intent sequences amended inserting after Section 1906 redesignation by Section 104, Section 1907 Joint Annual Interagency Review of Global Nuclear Detection Architecture. A, annual review. 1, in general, the Secretary of the Attorney General and the Secretary of State, the Secretary of Defense, Secretary of Energy, Director of National Intelligence shall jointly ensure interagency coordination, development, implementation of global nuclear detection architecture, ensuring that not less than frequently than less than 1 year of each other. Not less frequently than one year each. Once a year each. Each relevant agency office entities. 1, assessment, involvement, support, and participation, development, revision, implementation, global nuclear detection architecture. 2, examination, evaluation, competence, global nuclear detection architecture, including associated strategies, acquisition plans relating to the operation of the agency, official office intending to determination components, incorporate, address current threats of assessment scenarios, intelligent analysis, developed and director of national intelligence to other agencies, regardless of threatening relating to the nuclear radiological weapons of mass destruction, radio and nuclear. B, each agency, office, and entity deploying opportunity any nuclear or radiological detection and technology understanding global nuclear detection architecture. 1, evaluate deployment operational nuclear radiological detection and technologies under the global nuclear detection architecture by the agency offices and entities. Identify performance, defensive, operational, technical deficiencies, nuclear radiological detection technologies deployed in global nuclear detection architectural. And 3, assessment of capacity, agencies, offices, and implementation responsibility of the agencies, offices, entities, global detection architecture. 2, technologies. Not less than frequently one of each of the year, the Secretary shall examine and evaluate the development and assessment of acquisition, reduction, detection technologies deployed, implementation, support domestic portions of the global nuclear detection architecture. 3, be an annual report of joint interagency review. 1, in general, not later than March 31st of each year, the Secretary of Attorney General, Secretary of State, Secretary of Defense, Secretary of Energy, the Director of National Intelligence shall jointly submit a report regarding implementation of the section of the result of the reviews under the section A, the President, B, the Committee of the Operations Committee and Selected Committee, Intelligence Committee, and Homeland Security Government Affairs of the Senate. C, the Committee of Operations Committee, Armed Services, the Permanent Select Committee, and the Intelligence Committee, and the Homeland Security and Committee of Science, Technology, in the House of Representatives. 2, the form, the annual supported under the paragraph 1 shall be submitted in unclassified form to the maximum extent practicable, may be include a classified annex and definitions of the section of the global nuclear detection architectural means global nuclear detection architecture developed under the section in 1902. Clerical amendment to the table of contents section of 1B Homeland Security Action 2026 United States Code 101 note is amended, inserting after the item relating to section 906 adding the section 104 in the following. 1907 Joint Annual Interagencies Review of Global Nuclear Detection Architectural. 6 United States Code 921 Section 1104 Integration Detection Equipment and Technologies. The responsible secretary, the Secretary of Homeland Security, responsible for ensuring domestic capable chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear detection equipment and the technologies integrated as appropriate within the other border and security systems detection technologies. D, the report no later than 6 months of the date and enactment of the Act, Secretary should submit to Congress contains developing departmental technological assessment process determine certified technology readiness and chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear detection technology, fully development of such technologies within the United States. Title 12, Transportation and Security Planning Information.